And come on down to your back. And we'll just start with a little bit of a stretch. So go ahead and lower on down. We're going to start with that double kneaded chest. So pull your shoulder blades underneath you. So you have a nice broad chest as you're lying down on your back, and then go ahead and hug your legs in and just gently rock side to side. Just loosen up that low back to start. Nice. That's all feeling very comfortable. Then we'll take it into a 2-knee twist. You're going to bring your arms out to the sides, kind of like scarecrow arms at 90 degrees. Then go ahead and bring your both legs to one side and turn your head and look over the opposite shoulder. Bring the legs up and across. Same thing, other direction. Get about 2 touches on each side. So bring it across. Turn the head as the knees sweep. And you get to control how far into that twist you drop. Balance out both sides. And then go ahead and meet me with the feet on the ground. All right, we're going to start really basic here with some abdominal work. So you want to think about an abdominal hollow with your feet flat on the ground. You're going to imagine your low back here. You want to first focus on rolling those hips forward so you create some space between your low back and the floor. And now we're going to focus on just the opposite of that, where you're going to roll those hips back, push your low back into the ground, and then try to have like no space there. If I were there with you in person and I was trying to slide my hand underneath your low back, ideally we'd have no space there. So you're looking to kind of draw the abdominals in, pull the pelvis back, and then we're holding here. And this would be considered like a level 1 where you're just holding that position. You can think about clenching the muscles of the pelvic floor, and you're working to hold this posture without holding the breath. And anytime you need a break, you just relax the abdominal, lift the hips, roll back forward. Then you'll feel that space of the low back and the floor. And then when you're ready, you just draw it all back and in, holding again, nice and fluid. The next round, we'll add some movement for the legs, but those of you that maybe are just getting started with this, or this is a hard position for you, if you've had any recent low back pain, then just stick with what we call like these supine abdominal draws. You're drawing your abdominals back and then relaxing, practicing that clenching position without holding the breath. So maybe about another 10 seconds or so, rock the pelvis back, feel that low back push into the floor. When you're ready, go ahead and release. So just kind of relax that low back for a second. And next, we're going to start into our glute bridges. So it's going to have a similar engagement to start as pull the belly into the spine, roll the spine into the floor, and then now you'll start to elevate the hips into the air, driving your knees out, drawing the chin to the chest. And we're going to spend about a minute here, just pulsing the hips up and down. And I tend to move and lead you through a little bit more of a conservative tempo. But those of you that are more experienced, if you know your body, if you want to pulse your hips up and down a little bit faster, you're certainly welcome to do so. We're about halfway through. We're going to spend about another 30 seconds here. Looking to get a nice opening position in the front of the hips, activating the back of the body, engaging those glutes. It's also an opportunity to lengthen the back of the neck, pulling that chin in. And things that we're looking to avoid here, pinching sensation in the front of the hips or in the low back. So if you're getting any kind of a pinch, don't go up quite as high. Let's get about one more rep. Chin to the chest, squeeze the glutes, and go ahead and rest. Very nice. Stay where you are. Go ahead and go back to that double kneaded chest. I'm going to spin myself around here. We're going to extend that left leg out when you're ready and pull the right knee in towards the right shoulder. And now let's go ahead and warm up those ankles. We're going to have some jumping jack options later on to get some movement through those ankles as you're opening up through the hips. Good. Switch the directions of that ankle roll. Roll the ankle the other way. And then switch legs. Actively drive your right thigh down as you pull your left knee towards that left shoulder, and ankle rolls on this side. Good. Switch directions there. Very nice. Go ahead and go back to that bent knee position with both feet flat on the ground. We're going to go back to that abdominal draw, and now we're going to add some heel slides. So when you're ready, roll those hips back, push that low back into the floor, And then choose one leg. Holding that position, you're going to slide your heel out, extending the knee, and then trying to hold that low back flat to the floor. You'll slide the heel back. If you need to take a break, go ahead and rest. Otherwise, let's get about 3 times on the one leg, and then we'll switch. So sliding the heel out as you draw the abdomen in, all the way back to position. Very good. And imagine if you're there with a partner, they would be flattening their hand underneath your spine. After 3 times, go ahead and switch legs. 3 times on the opposite foot. Sliding it up, sliding it out. Very nice. Fantastic. And shake it out. When you finish 3 on both legs, we're going to go back to those glute bridges. If you have a spot to elevate the feet, you can go ahead and elevate the feet. We turn it into what we call a hamstring curl. So you get a little bit more activation for the back of the thighs. So I'm going to put the bottoms of my feet on the bench here, and we're starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. If nowhere is convenient to elevate the feet, just stick with that glute bridge we did on set 1. Great time to close the eyes, focus on your breathing. Pulsing the hips up and down. Ideally, we'd like to get a nice open position for the front of the hips. Good. And engage as much of the back of the body as you can. So as you see if you can, oopsie. One second. My tripod failed me. Keep it going there. Can't even blame it on the puppy dog. About 10 more seconds. Up and down. And 3, 2, 1, and rest from there. Very good. So just take a moment to rest. I'm going to spin myself back around so I have a little bit more space for my legs. And now on set 3, you can either stick with either the first 2 variations that we've done for that abdominal hollow work, or you can join me for a little bit of dead bug action. So with the knees bent up in the air, I'm going to bring my arms straight up in the air as well. That low back posture that we focused on the first 2 rounds, that's our goal here. So keep that belly drawn in as you extend one leg and the opposite arm. Breathing in as you extend, breathe out as you pull it back to the start. Good. And then opposite sides. So you'll go one side of the body, opposite arm, opposite leg extends out, and then the opposite side. Good. And if you are in a situation where it's really hard for you to hold that hollow position, don't advance the movements yet. Just wait for your body to kind of catch up with that. Breathing in as you stretch the arms and legs out. Smooth exhale as you draw it together. We're about halfway through here. Really good exercise for the abdominal section. It's also good for our brain. Kind of working that one side of the body with the leg, other side of the body with the arm. One of those movements is a little bit deceiving. When you first start, you're like, this is not a big deal. Then you start to feel that activation of the midline. About 10 seconds left. Gonna breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. And last one. And rest. Fantastic. Take about 15 seconds. Go ahead and go back to those elevated, with the feet elevated for that hamstring curl. Anyone that doesn't have anywhere to elevate, another option would be the frog bridge, where you put the bottoms of your feet together and bridge up and down from there. We'll start in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Pulse them up, pulse them down. Very nice. Keeping the knees pushing out. Remember, we're looking to really engage a lot of those smaller muscles of your pelvic floor. So try to find some activation of those smaller muscles. Sometimes it takes a lot more focus than we prefer. Halfway through. Ooh, feeling some burn now. Keep breathing through it. I tend to breathe in as I lower my hips down and breathe out as I raise my hips up. Nice job. 10 more seconds. Try to work all the way through. Building those glutes, building those hamstrings in 3, 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. Go ahead and roll on over. We're going to come in a child's position for a moment, then we'll go down dog and make our way up to standing. So bring your big toes together, divide the knees, reach those arms straight out, and rock your hips back towards your heels. Whew, a little bit of burn in my thighs. Got some landscaping going on in the park here, so hopefully you all can hear all right. When you've got a few breaths into that child's position, come back to all fours, make a nice wide handprint, hands with the shoulders, turn those toes under, and let's raise those hips up, pushing back into down dog, rocking forward onto the hands. Exhale as you rock back. Draw your chin to your chest and guide your heart towards your thighs. Go about 3 more times here, rocking it forward onto the hands, hips high as you push back. Good. On this next one, we're going to stay back there and now get a good stretch for the calves. So lower your heels down, walk out those heels. We're going to be transitioning from the floor up to our feet. So after you've gotten your heels or your calves stretched out, rocking those heels out, now we'll start to inchworm our way up to standing, or whatever you need to do to get back up to your feet. And we'll readjust our camera here. All right, everybody, great job. As you come on up to standing, we're gonna do a few stretches. We're gonna get ready for some squats next. So feel free to balance yourself somewhere as needed. Lift everything on up, grab that one foot. A little bit of a stretch here. Drawing that shoulders back, draw the midline in. And watch these hips don't kick out, so keep lifting up to that midline. All right, go ahead and set that foot down. Same thing, other side. Lift on up. Grab that opposite foot. Pulling that heel back. So ideally on a quad stretch, we'd like to be able to see the heel touch the glute in the back. If your foot is quite a distance away, just use that as a reminder, as a stretch that you can practice on a daily basis. 2 to 3 times a day is great. And set that foot down. All right, we're going to be going through 4 rounds. Feel free to grab a drink if it's nearby. We're going to go about 20 seconds with each exercise. You can give or take a little bit here and there. Just going to be doing some recommendations here, so make any adjustments you need. I'm not going to be working with any weights today, but if people have some light weights that you want to work with, you're welcome to do that as well. All right, we're going to start with the squat. So go ahead and set those feet about hip width apart, chest nice and tall. And when you're ready, you're going to reach your arms out, send your hips back. And I don't say this very often, those of you that have been training with me for a long time, but I'd rather you to work on a little bit of speed here than that full range. We'll make sure that we really open up the body a little bit later, but don't worry about going too far down. Rather have a little bit faster tempo so you get that stimulus. Good job. And 3, 2, 1, and transition. Now we're just going to raise those arms up and down, right up in front of the body and back. Good. And it's somewhat of a swing, but you want to be intent with it. So nice and strong, kind of use those muscles. Up and push the arms back. Raise them up and push them back. Good. Just holding like a little bit of a quarter squat here with my legs. And 3, 2, 1, and transition. So either a jump jack or an overhead reach. I'd like to see your index fingers touch overhead and in front of your body. So even if you just move the arms, what I mean is in front of the body here and over the head here. Good. So you can wave the arms up and down, or you can add the jump. Let's go 10 more seconds. Good, keep that breathing going. And transition from here, overhead pulse. Like a raise the roof if y'all were here in the 90s. There you go, good, just up and down. Don't worry about shrugging those shoulders high. We just wanna be pushing that air up and down, good. Breathe. Anytime anyone needs a break, please take it. But if you can stick with us, we're gonna go right back into our squats. Ready? Set the feet. Nice deep breath. And 2, 1, here we go. Just sitting down and standing up is a great option here as well. Touching a chair and standing tall. And try not to compare yourself. You don't need to keep up with anybody. You just need to move your own body. Pull yourself down and push into the floor to drive up. Good, couple more. Fantastic, keep your feet where they are. Little quarter squat, draw the belly in, and our raises in the front of the body. Raise them up, push them back. Raise them up, push them back. Sometimes we do alternating arms. Today we're going both arms together. Feel those muscles work. So engage the shoulder blades as you push back. Engage the shoulders as you draw up. Good. Whole time pulling the midline in. Overhead raises or jump jacks next. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So you can just go up and down with the arms or add the legs with the jump jack. Nice. There you go. Step jacks are great as well. Good work, Kathy. So this is coming near the end of set 2. We've got our overhead pulses next. 5 more seconds. Good. Maintain that little quarter squat. And here we go. Raise the roof. 9, 10. Good. About 5 more seconds. And we'll take just a short rest, about 10 seconds. Shake it out. If anybody does want to hold some light weights, we're going to go back to our squats next. All right, set the feet. 2, 1, starting round 3 of 4 here. Raise those arms up. Again, just a little mini squat. Feet are firmly planted. Knees are pushing out. Good. Beautiful. We're going to go into those front raises next. Ready? And transition. Try to hold that little mini squat and then raise them up, push them back. Good. I see layers coming off. That tells us we're getting warm. Fantastic. Keep that breathing going. Step jacks, jump jacks, or those overhead circles next. And transition. Index fingers touch in front of the body and overhead. Feel free to add that jump. Woo! Short and sweet with these workouts. Good, and our raise the roof overhead pulses. Keeping the shoulders down and just pumping the arms. Very good. 10 more seconds. We'll take a 10-second break and we'll be back for our 4th and final round. 3, 2, 1, and short rest. Alrighty. As always, if you need a longer rest, take it. Otherwise, we'll be into our 4th round of squats starting in 2, 1, and here it is. So I'm just going to show the sit and stand. I can go to the bench and pull myself up. Watch your toes. The toes tend to lift up. I'd like to see your big toe push down and also keeping those heels engaged. So I'm pulling down to my seat and then pushing out, driving through my feet. Good. 1 or 2 more. Beautiful. Front raises. Hold that quarter squat. Nice. 5 more seconds. Overhead circles or the jump jacks next. Index fingers in front of the body and overhead. Here we go. Changing it up. Make sure I don't jump on Moose's tail. Great work. We're almost there, everyone. Just our raise the roof to finish. 2, 1, and here we go. A little quarter squat and just pulse it out. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and all done there. Woo. All right, nice work. Right at that 20-minute mark. Let's go ahead. We're going to do a cool down, but just push that little nozzle in. Release that air. Good. So take the air out of those bands, and then we'll come back and we'll go into our little willow tree branches here. So finding that flow. Now we'll start to bring the heart rate down. Relax the body. We intentionally stress the body when we work on our exercise. We do that movement to give the body a stressor so then it can recover from the stress and come back stronger. Go ahead and let those elbows bend. Let the hands tap the front of the torso and the back of your torso. If you're comfortable to do so, let your head and neck turn as well. Practice looking over that shoulder. See if you can time your tap of the hands with an exhalation. So blowing that air out. Good. Couple more on each side. And back to the willow branches. And we'll just come nice and slow down to a stop. Wonderful. I'm going to walk the feet a little bit closer, toes pointing straight ahead. Draw the abdomen in with that soft bend the knee. We're going down for a little toe touch here. Chin to the chest. Slide those hands down the legs. Seeing how far your body is comfortable to reach today. You get down there, if you feel stable down there, you can cross the hands over one another, kind of grab onto the opposite arm, chin to the chest, and now breathe. Nice deep breaths into the back of the rib cage. Continue to breathe, focusing to send your breath into the outer aspects, the lateral aspects of your rib cage and into the back of your rib cage. Try to relax your eyes closed as you breathe. And when you're ready, start to come up out of that forward fold, one segment at a time. Slowly making your way up to standing. And once you're standing tall, go ahead and raise your arms up to overhead. Circle your arms around, move through your hips, and just see what else your body might be asking for. Thanks for moving with us here today, and we look forward to moving with you next time.